Hi, everyone. My name is Brittany, and I will be presenting on my favorite brain part, the amygdala. Fun fact, the word amygdala means almond. You would think that there's some type of deeper connection there for why the amygdala was named after an almond, but it's simply because it is shaped like one. So, why did I choose the amygdala for this presentation? The amygdala has always fascinated me since I was young. And I've always been fascinated by the concept of fight or flight. This is survival. And I've always lived in a place where um, survival was important to think about. And many times I would consider, how would I survive in this scenario or that scenario? And um, and I learned that all of that has to do with the amygdala. So where even is your amygdala? In this pretty picture, you'll see that blue color there. But overall, the amygdala is located in the temporal lobe. And the temporal lobe is widely associated with managing emotions like fear, anger, anxiety, also memories like the last time you swung on a swing, understanding language, and processing sensual information. And within the temporal lobe is the limbic system, and that controls your instincts like your mood, fear, pleasure, anger, other motivators like hunger and sex. And so the amygdala is inside the temporal lobe, and then you have the limbic system, and then inside of that is the amygdala. So, when you think of the word amygdala in any psych course that you've ever taken, the first thing that you hear is fight or flight. And so that is stand your ground, defend your position, attack, dig in, or give away, retreat, discard, remove yourself, give up, or move on. Both of these responses are there to make you survive in any situation. And so, how does it work? It's not too complicated. On an unconscious level, the amygdala identifies a threat, and that results in a physiological response indirectly through cognitive systems. More simply, imagine that you were taking a stroll on your favorite trail and you saw a bear or another scary animal. If you're a woman, maybe you're not afraid of a bear or or a scary animal. Maybe you can handle those situations. Maybe it's a stranger in the woods or something. So imagine in your mind something scary and horrifying, like a stalker in the woods. What happens is your brain senses that. They sense that something is wrong. It can hear danger or it sees danger, and your brain floods your body with stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline, which initiates the need to fight or run for your life. And so, what happens if your amygdala gets damaged? Damage to the amygdala can happen from a variety of causes. This can be concussion or stroke, things like that. And what can happen as a result of those things are um, responses that just are not favorable for anyone. So I'm going to talk about three of them that I just thought would be good to discuss for this. The first being amygdala hijack. So, amygdala hijack is when your amygdala literally hijacks the more rational centers of your brain, and makes your body react with an um, overwhelming stress. So you see something, and maybe it's something that's more simple, just maybe a spider, and maybe you will have a more severe response to that. You can also have damage to your amygdala that causes you to not have an appropriate response to a stressor or fear. Another thing that can happen is memory loss. When the amygdala and the hippocampus are not working together properly, it can cause short term or long term issues. It's important to remember that every part of your brain is so interconnected. So, having damage in one place can affect another place so extremely you would have never guessed that it would have been connected to that area. And so, why does all this matter? The amygdala is such an important part of life and survival. Every day, this part of our brain is activated and it can determine how you get out of any sticky situation. Thank you.